Hello and welcome to our channel. My name is Hafsa Salim. In this video, I'm going to be sharing how you can germinate vegetable seeds quickly at home without the use of a grower light. If you are a new homesteader and you're interested in learning more about backyard farming, click on the subscribe button to see all of our future videos on how to grow your own food as well as how to get started with backyard chickens. If you are a new gardener, download my beginner's guide to gardening. It's all of the essentials and tips you'll need as you get started. This is an extremely simple method and you can use materials that you may already have at home. Grab a roll of paper towels, a large plate, a glass of water, all of your seeds, and several medium to large size plastic sandwich bags or ziploc bags. You want to have medium to large size bags for this project, and ideally use the ones that have a space on there for a label. If the ones that you have do not have a space for a label, grab some tape. That way you can tape down on each plastic bag and handwrite with a Sharpie what set of seeds are going to be placed in there. If you have a dozen different types of seeds, for example, you should have a dozen Ziploc bags and a dozen sheets of paper towels. To get started, simply take your plate, lay one sheet of paper towel on there, take one set of seeds, sprinkle them on that paper towel sheet on only half of the paper towel. Take your glass of water and lightly pour it into the plate. Simply soak it up. You don't want to completely drown that paper towel. You want to still be able to handle it, so don't pour too much water into there. And then very gently fold it over like a sandwich. Take that sheet of wet paper towel and slide it into one of your Ziploc bags. You should already have labeled each plastic Ziploc bag with the name of every seed and also put the date on there, the date that you're actually doing this. That way you can keep track of every single seed to see how many days they took to germinate. Take them and place them into a dark, warm space for a minimum of a few days. We used a spare oven. It's an old-fashioned oven. It sits right above our gas stove and it's not in use. Every time we cook on the gas stove, heat rises to that oven and it keeps it warm. So I stacked all of these Ziploc bags in that section and left them there for a few days. Every 2 to 3 days, pull them out to check on them and you can see very quickly how they start to germinate. So you want to use a space or something to keep your seeds warm anywhere between 60 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit at any given time. You don't want to cook them. You simply want them to stay warm. I found that this method worked extremely well for several different types of seeds, specifically spinach, lettuce, broccoli, basil, tomatoes. It worked extremely well for radish and okra, several types of mixed greens. Once you see that your seeds have germinated, take them out of that dark, warm space, lay them out on a table, and very gently start pulling each set of seeds out. You want to be careful with it because that wet paper towel can easily rip. So very gently pull it out, and again, you'll need a large plate. Take it out, place it on a large plate one at a time, and very gently, either with your hands or a set of tweezers, pull each seed out. Once they do germinate, they do tend to get tangled within the wet paper towel, and if you're not gentle enough, they will break extremely easily. So use a set of tweezers so that they're less likely to break. Once you've pulled them all out of the paper towel, you should already have set on the side your seed starter trays. Now there are many different things that you can use as seed starter trays. There are things that you can use at home as well as buying trays which only cost a few dollars. So things that you can use that you most likely already have at home or you can start to collect are number one, eggshells. Eggshells are great because you already have them from eating your eggs every day, especially if you eat eggs like we do. Start setting them aside. Do not let them go to waste. You can also use use plastic containers or aluminum cans. Plastic containers that you may already have from groceries that you've bought, things like salads, baked items usually come in plastic containers that have a lid that flips open and seals nice and shut. This is the temporary setup for your seeds, and you can use the ones that are 2 to 3, maybe 4 inches deep at most. And you can also use aluminum cans, things from canned veggies, soups. My theory is if you have something that can be reused, reuse it. Don't let it go to waste or end up in a landfill. Reuse what you have and keep it for next year. Because I was growing a lot of different types of veggies and herbs, I also purchased seed starter trays, which are usually around $10 or less. I purchased 2 different types. One was individual cells, about 720 cells for about $10, and then another set of individual containers that are about 3 to 4 inches deep. I use these for our tomato plants because their roots do grow a lot faster and a lot deeper than some of the other plants that I was growing. Once you know what you're using, you want to fill them with quality soil. Don't go to your backyard and just dig up soil and think that that could be good. Some people make the mistake as new gardeners of thinking that they can simply use the soil that they may have in their backyard. You don't want to use that soil because it's usually not rich enough in nutrients, especially for seedlings. What you can use is a mix of compost and gardening soil that you can pick up at any local garden supply store. I use a mix of both, but for seedlings, I use mostly compost because it's highly rich in nutrients, which is really great in getting your plants off to the right start. My next video will be how to compost, how you can create your own compost within a few weeks. So you want to already have your trays already filled with this mixture of soil, and instead of watering them after you place a seed in there, water them before you place the seed in there. That way you avoid the possibility of drowning them if you water it after the fact. So let the soil become moist before you actually place the seeds inside of there. And when you are ready to do that, very lightly tap the soil. You could use a popsicle stick, you could use the same set of tweezers to push down the soil very slightly. Usually around 1/2 inch is enough. You don't want to go deeper than that. Most of the plants that you're doing this with do not need to be planted any deeper than that. If you are going to be placing your seed starter trays outdoors, keep an eye on the daily forecast, especially for the first 4 weeks. If you are doing this at a time of the year when it is still cold outside, so if it is late winter or early spring, you cannot leave your plants outdoors. When it is freezing outside or even just above freezing, it will kill your plants or it will stall their growth. The second reason why is you don't want to leave them outdoors when it's about to rain. Even light rain can sometimes drown your seedlings, so you want to be able to bring them indoors if there is cold weather or if it is about to rain. If you enjoyed this video, click like, leave a comment, let me know how using this method goes for you. And if you are interested in learning a lot more about backyard farming, click on the subscribe link. This video is part of a series that I'm doing all on how to grow vegetables and herbs. Something special we do here on this channel every week is we give a shout out to one of our Instagram and YouTube followers who's also a homesteader. This week's shout out goes to Carrie of the Little Palette Farmhouse. Check her out on Instagram and on YouTube. She has an awesome homesteading YouTube channel. How you could be featured on this channel as well as 2 other homesteading channels I collaborate with is simply follow all of us on Instagram, subscribe to all 3 YouTube channels, use our hashtag #MyHomesteadFeature in any of your Instagram homesteading posts, and share to your story that you've subscribed to all 3 channels so we know. These details are listed in the description section, and you can easily find them on my Instagram page at Homestead Hafsa. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.